Hi everyone, and welcome to my weekly tarot card reading for all zodiac signs. I put the sign I'm reading at the top of the video so you can easily scroll through and find the sign you're looking for. Now remember, this is a general reading, though I sometimes get specific messages for someone who needs to hear them, so be patient, as some weeks may resonate for you and others may not. I'd also recommend looking at both your sun and ascendant sign, if you know what that is. Also, this is a great opportunity to try and use your own intuition when I show the cards, to see what message you get for yourself. It's great practice. For that, I'd recommend pausing the video and sitting quietly to see what resonates for you when you're looking at the cards. I'd love to hear what comes up for you, so let me know in the comments below. Okay. Let's get started. Okay, let's get started with our weekly tarot card reading for all the zodiac signs. And this week I am using the Crow Tarot deck. And let's get started with Aries. What do we have going on for you, Aries, this week? Okay, Aries, when I first put the cards down, the first image I got was you being at home with your loved one or your family, people that are close to you, and really feeling warm in that environment, feeling loved and cared for in that environment. I feel like there is a blessing surrounding your home this week, but I feel like there's someone else involved. So if you are in a partnership, in a marriage, whatever the case may be, maybe your children at home, there is some interchange that is going to warm your heart this week. So someone is either going to reach out to you in a way that makes you feel secure in your own nurtured environment, your own home environment, where you live, where you set up your space, whatever that is for you. I feel like this week is going to be positive in that area. For some of you, I'm feeling that you could be going on vacation even with these people. So that may come up for you this week, where that's the interchange of feeling at home with your family, even though you may not be in your own home environment, if that makes sense. Because I'm trying to picture the energy as I'm feeling it here. I also feel for you there's a lot of give and take this week. There shouldn't be any kind of ruffled feathers or anything that is going to set you off this week. I feel like it's a very balanced week for you. I feel like the interchange you have with people will be fair and give and take. I feel that give and take. I feel like you also may be reaching out to someone as well to show that you care. So this may be a friend or a loved one. You may just pick up the phone where you haven't done in a while just to tell somebody that they're on your mind, that type of thing. So it's a lot about you feeling blessed with the people around you, with the people that are close to you, whether you're in your home environment, with your family, with your loved ones. It's very serene this week. I feel like for you, there is nothing that is going to happen out of the ordinary, but it's going to make you feel fulfilled in a way about your inner circle of your life, the people that are in your inner circle of your life. So great week for you, dear Aries. Okay, now we're moving on to Taurus. Let's see what we have going on for you, Taurus, this week. Okay, Taurus, this week it's very interesting because I feel like you're really taking inventory of your life, your past, and what you want to do in the future. I feel like this week might be a time for you to reflect on maybe times in the past that weren't so great, things maybe that didn't go your way, love maybe that has failed, or things that you've said in the past or done in the past. And then where you are now, I feel, is very fruitful. I feel like you're looking around at your life and you're saying, okay, this is what I like, this is what I want to keep, this is what I want to have moving forward. This part of my life should be now and in the future as well. But this part of my life, I don't think that I should carry this anymore, because I feel like there may be some memories that you're carrying that you don't need to be carrying in your life anymore. So they may not be in your present moment, but there is something that you're carrying from your past. It's shaping your now, but you don't want it to shape your future. That's what I'm feeling for you. I feel like you're being very grounded in how you're seeing your life. You are being very observant in your life at this moment, and really taking inventory is the way I want to really say it here. And there are things that you definitely know that you are bringing into your future. This is a great week for journaling for you, Taurus. You may find that very therapeutic, and really thinking about your past, or possibly going through journals. If you have written journals in the past, going back to those journals to review your life and how it was. If you don't journal, it may be just using your phone to go back to pictures on your phone, or even previous to that, if you had hard copy pictures in a photo album, really looking at your past and trying to understand how it has shaped where you are today, and what pieces of that past were helpful in the past, even though they may not be good memories, but you don't need to carry them any further. You're not that person any longer, and now going forward, all of those things that you learned in the past, you can take forward the things that worked for you, or the things that have helped you grow that no longer needed because you're already grown, and what you want to bring with you into the future. So it is very much a reflection week for you. I feel like where you are today, I feel that you're very grateful for where you are today. There's a feeling of understanding what happened to you in the past and why it was so important for your growth. I want to say, Taurus, that this week, it's very special for you because it marks a time where you're stepping up to your next journey. And, hurts may come in your next journey, but you're starting at another level of your growth in this lifetime, and then you're heading to the next stage of your life. So there are things that are going to happen on the way, but at this point of your life, and specifically in this week and the weeks to come, it will be about letting go of the things that no longer serve you to carry you forward in this life. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Hopefully I've communicated that as it's the only way I can do it, but hopefully I communicated that properly to you. So enjoy your week, dear Taurus. Okay, now we're moving on to Gemini. What do we have going on for you, Gemini, this week? Okay, for Gemini, you just got 3 major arcanas all in a row, which signifies to me a very monumental week for you, very important week. I feel like for you, there's something that's going to take place this week that is going to almost set you off on a new trajectory. For some of you, I feel like there's an important event or important travel or important growth happening in your life. There's a growth happening. There's something that you're shedding. There's something that you've waited for in your life that is now going to crack open. Like, it's something that you've maybe dreamt about. For some of you, this is going to be like dreams coming true. There's something happening that, number one, you've worked hard for. Number two, you've had the patience to wait for it, knowing that timing is divine. And you knew that this day in your mind could happen. It just hadn't happened yet. Very monumental. I feel like there's a lot of growth happening for you as well, in the sense that whatever you're shedding, it's like you are rebirthing. You're rebirthing this week into your new future. It's very profound, and this could be even in a small way, but it's still monumental, if that makes sense. So, it could be something as big as, I've always wanted this, and here's my opportunity to make it happen. I've unearthed whatever I need to unearth in my life, and here it comes. But it also can be on a subconscious level happening. So it could even be happening in your dreams, where there's something monumental happening in your subconscious, so that going forward, there's a new way you're going to address life. There's a new way that you're going to approach life, approach people. You'll notice it by the way you communicate with others. You'll start communicating, and maybe in the past you have reacted when somebody said something to you and you took it personally, or you were sensitive to it. I feel like now, Gemini, you are looking at it from a different perspective, because whatever has unearthed in you is making you see things from a higher level. So if you are communicating with someone, now all of a sudden there's no emotion. You're not taking emotion into it because you see it from the other person's side, or you understand that it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's that type of thing. It's really profound. But again, I also feel like for some of you, if there is something that you have been waiting for a while to happen, or you worked hard for something, your dream will come true. This is a very important time for you. So again, I'm trying to give you some examples of where it could be just a minor thing of how you're communicating, even though that isn't minor, but comparatively to a big dream that you've had. I feel like for some of you, travel is here, because I'm feeling travel as well. I feel like this may be travel to another country as well. I feel for some of you, again, this is a general reading, so I'm trying to give you all the energies that I'm feeling, so that it will resonate with each and every one of you in some way. But the travel I see too is somewhere that you've wanted to go that you haven't gone to yet. I feel like you're very excited. Maybe you had to wait. Maybe a trip was delayed and you weren't able to take this trip, and now you can go, because I'm also feeling travel strongly here as well. But you've had to wait before you could embark on this trip. And now the time has come, and that's exciting for you. So all in all, generally, I just want to say, Gemini, this is a monumental week. It's very important. There's going to be breakthroughs. If I had to say any general term for you this week, it will be breakthroughs. So it's an excellent week for you, Gemini. All year long, I've been having great feelings for you, Gemini. I'm not quite sure why. When I think of the astrology, I think that, well, the North Node's in Gemini, but I'm not sure. I just feel that the energy I've been feeling all year is very productive for you, Gemini. So this may be the breakthrough, that all the goodness that has been happening this year, you get this breakthrough and you see it from a deeper level. So excellent for you, dear Gemini. Okay, now we're moving on to Cancer. What do we have going on for you, Cancer, this week? Okay, Cancer, this is a big week for you as well. I feel like here there's something that you're communicating to somebody that I feel like there's been a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, possibly for you, Cancer, or some of you, Cancers. Again, this is a general reading, but I'm feeling like you've been carrying some sort of burden, and maybe you've been quiet about it and you haven't said anything. You've just been going forward because there's something about whatever you've been doing that you felt you had to do. And this week you're saying, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Something has to change. And if you don't say something about it, or come to realization that you can say something, or say that you need help, because I feel like some of you may not be asking for help that you need. The guidance here is saying ask for the help that you need this week. If you are carrying too much responsibility and it's weighing you down or stressing you out, there is something that you're trying to accomplish too much, and it's going to take a toll. It could take a toll on your health, possibly. It could take a toll on you mentally. And whether you decide to ask for help on your own, you need to. But if you don't, something is going to happen where you're going to be forced to. For example, your health. If something happens to your health because you've been too stressed out, you'll get a message that's going to force you to slow down. Whether you get sick or something is going to say stop. So look for those clues. It could be just that you've let this pressure build up so long I'm hoping that this reading will help you see that. Think about what has been happening in your work, for example, your family, whatever it is that you have responsibility for, and really look at how you've been maybe running on half fuel all the time. Are you eating enough? Are you taking care of yourself? I feel like there is something you have to come to terms with about how you're taking care of yourself and giving yourself the balance. And maybe you've always had it in your head that I have to do this. This is something that you've always done. And, you know, maybe this is just time for you to switch it up and say, you know what? I need to take half of this responsibility away from me. If it is something in regards to work, maybe there is something you need to let go of in work. Maybe you have too much responsibility, but in that case, you need to communicate. So I'm feeling like for you, communication is the key to letting someone know that you won't be doing everything you can't, or asking for help. Because I feel like this week it's going to be that breaking point for you, whether you realize it and you ask for help, and then the burden will be released from you and you'll feel freer. I'm telling you, Cancer, I feel like you'll be freer, and realizing that you don't have to take on all this responsibility. It's not always yours to take on. So really look at your life and see if there are any areas where you are doing more than your fair share and not actually taking care of your health or your mental health, possibly in regards to stress. You know, rest is needed and things are needed, but I feel like for you, really look at that, because I feel like it would be better if you did it on your own versus something happens to your health, or you know, you just can't get out of bed because you're just so stressed out. It's not going to help you if you keep going the way you're going. So again, a general reading, it's not going to apply to everybody, but for those that it does apply to, please take a look at that this week. Okay, now we're moving on to Leo. What do we have going on for you, Leo, this week? Okay, Leo, I'm feeling deja vu here for me, so that means I must have said this energy before somewhere. Maybe look at prior week's readings, but this is a great week for you. So if I said something about the past, you winning something or succeeding in something, I feel like it's still happening for some of you. I feel like you've accomplished something that's pretty remarkable, and you're feeling really good about it. It could be accomplishing something in your career, your job. You've won something. You feel like you're the head of the pack. I just feel this positive energy from you, Leo, that you've accomplished something. But now it's time for you to take a breath. I feel like you've been working hard, or like the eye on the prize. I keep hearing that, the eye of the prize, or the eye on the prize. So whatever it is that you've been aiming for, you're there. It's coming. If it hasn't come already, because I'm feeling deja vu, if it hasn't come already, it's coming. But this is where now you have to say, okay, I can stop and I can rest. I can just rest for a minute. I can take a week off. I can go on vacation. I feel like you've been running on like 150 miles an hour to achieve something, or to do something, or to get something, or to win something. And here you are at that finish line feeling really good. It's like if you were training for an event, for example. And this could be the case because athletic event came up for me. So maybe for some of you Leos, you are involved in some athletic event where you've been training really hard and working really hard, and whatever event you've been involved in, you've succeeded. Whether you placed or whatever sport that you're in, your team did really well. I feel like even if it has been a team sport, you have made your part in it. Because I feel this solely about you, not so much, I don't see a whole team of people. So it could be just you as an individual contributing to the team, or it's an individual event where it's up to you solely for performance. And again, this can be a job too, but you have succeeded. And now it's like, okay, I did it. But that's where you have to know that there's time now that you can just shut it down for a minute. And, just put your shoulders down, because you've been on the go, go, go figuring out how to make it happen, training really hard, working really hard, whatever it does apply to you as far as what you're trying to achieve. If you have not achieved it already, it is coming. But for some of you, I feel like this may be in the past as well, because I did right away feel deja vu when I dropped the cards down. But if it isn't in the past, it is going to be in the future. So for some of you Leos who it didn't happen to, it will. And now it is time to relax and just rest. Because I feel like for some of you, I need to say this message because maybe you're just going to go right into the next thing. So, you're so pumped up about how you just did and how you just performed that you want to do it right again. And you may want to sign up for another race or another event, another athletic event, whatever that event may be for you, because you've done so well, you want to keep going. The message here is you have to take some time off before you rev up again. That's the message here, is take some time before you rev up again. Again, this would apply in work if you've just completed something and it was a breakthrough. There was some kind of breakthrough happening. You now have to say, okay, well, I want to join this project, or I want to do this, because you're so excited, because I feel this excited energy from you that you want to keep going. You want to keep going, but we are only human, dear Leo. So even though you have achieved something remarkable, it's time for you to just let your body rest to recover, let your mind rest to recover. So whether it's athletics or work or whatever it is, it's time for you to just rest and just put it aside for a moment so that you'll be ready for the next one. And everybody has to do that in all kinds of ways for whatever it is. So great week for you, dear Leo. Okay, now we're moving on to Virgo. Let's see what we have going on for you, Virgo. Okay, Virgo, for you, I'm feeling right away is there's something that's not serving you, and you know what that is when I say that to you. For those of you that do relate to you, there is something that you have either in your life, whether it be a person or a habit or something that is in your life surrounding you that you know is not good for you. It's not in your best interest. Whether it's a relationship that it's just not serving you. It's not, it may be a codependent relationship. It may be just a relationship that you know is not going to take you to the place you want to go to in the future. And I feel like this week for you it's time for you to figure that out. What is it that isn't good for you in your life? And what are you holding on to? And it's almost like the word compulsive is coming up for me, but there's another thing I'm feeling here. It's almost like it's unconscious, like you do it anyway, even though you know you're not supposed to do it anyway. So if you have any kind of addiction or habit that you have that you know that you shouldn't be doing it, it's time to release that so that you can move forward and sort of get away from it. I feel like that you need to step away from that, whether it is a person or a habit or an addiction. For some of you, you may have something that you just can't, it's like you can't let go of it. It's time for you to really acknowledge that. You first have to acknowledge it before you can continue on your road. But I feel like it has to do with you thinking about it. It's coming to terms with it in your head versus in your heart, because I feel like it is something that you observe about yourself, but now you have to bring it into consciousness and say, wow, I do that all the time, and that's not serving me in the right way. So again, it doesn't have to be anything major like an addiction or something that's maybe monumental in a relationship, but it could be just reacting to something. So again, I said this for an earlier sign, it could be something as simple as you realizing that you react in a certain way to another person all the time. It's like a knee-jerk reaction, you know, when you have those knee-jerk reactions and then you think about it afterwards and you say, oh, why did I do that? Why do I always do that? It's one of those things, like, why do I always do that? That's when you have to really mentally think about how you can be aware of that in the moment, because I feel like whatever this is, it's unconscious. It's something you react to, knee-jerk reaction. How can I be conscious of it so that I can move forward in a better way in my relationships, in my day-to-day, with my peers, with my boss, whatever it is, whoever it is for you that this applies to? How can I move forward with them and not always be that person? Like, I feel like it's something about that. Like, I'm always that person that reacts. Maybe you're critical to something that always happens. Maybe somebody presents something and you're always looking at it as, what can be done better? Oh, that could be fixed. And you're not realizing that it's affecting other people. They don't really want to tell you things because they know you're not going to be satisfied with it. That type of thing. So again, it could be something major, but it can be something like that, where you just have to change your behavior, because it's something about you changing behavior in yourself so that you can move on and feel freer of that which holds you back. So hopefully that makes sense to you, dear Virgo. Okay, now we're moving on to Libra. Let's see what we have going on for you, Libra. Yeah, actually, these want to go. Okay, Libra, I feel like for you, for some of you, I actually have to say this, some of you, this is involved in a relationship. Feel like for some of you, you're feeling lost in a relationship. That was the first thing that came to me when I put down these cards. There's something that maybe you're putting out love to someone and they're not reciprocating, but you're not sure why, because you know that they do care about you, but somehow they're not showing it. Because that was the first thing that happened when I put down the cards, was I'm just seeing you wondering about somebody else, but not understanding it, why it's happening to you. There's something about your relationship that is not clicking like a puzzle. It's almost like, you know, when you're doing a puzzle and you think that piece is supposed to fit and you're looking at it and you're saying this should fit, and it doesn't fit, and you want it to fit because the colors look the same, the shape is pretty close, but it's not the right thing. It's that feeling. It's almost irritable to you because there's something not right. Maybe someone in your relationship has reacted or not reacted. Maybe they haven't called you, or something's going on about your relationship where you're not sure because you thought everything was going great. But now you're seeing that it may not be going great anymore, or something's happening. There's something going on, and I feel like it's around relationships very strongly, actually. I'm trying to see how this would apply in work, and I'm not getting it. So I feel like for you this week, Libra, it's around relationships, and you're trying to figure out something. Maybe somebody's harboring a secret, and you're kind of getting glimpses that something's not right. It's that puzzle piece, because I keep seeing a puzzle too. It's puzzling. Maybe that's why I keep seeing a puzzle. Maybe the guides want me to say puzzling. Maybe it's just a puzzling relationship to you, and you're like, I don't understand what's going on. I thought we were here, but we're really not here, and I'm not confused because I'm doing everything in my power to show you how much I care about you. Why is this happening? You know, there's something in your mind that's not resonating with you. But I don't see the other person here. So that tells me that necessarily you may not be having a conversation with the person. I feel like it's all within you, because I'm not picking up this other person in the relationship, but I know it's a relationship, but I know it's coming from your perspective, how you feel about the relationship, that you're confused about it. Something's confusing you. Maybe there's something you saw in your interaction with the other person that it just doesn't make any sense. For some of you, I just picked up children too, so some of you, this may be a relationship with your child, possibly, that's not making sense, or your relationship with your partner and there's a child involved, because I just felt child come up, so I have to say what I'm feeling. So there could be something around that where it's just confusing you. But what I'm feeling here for you, not to just leave you hanging here, is that it's something that hasn't come out yet. So if you are feeling confused, that missing piece is going to show up for you at a later date. I feel like it's not now, it will be in a later date that something will come to light and you'll look back on this time going, oh, okay, that's why I didn't understand. I didn't realize XYZ. Whatever's happening with the other person, I'm not seeing the other person, so I feel like it's not gonna come out now. So it's just to confirm your feelings that they are real, but there is something about this other person that you're not aware of, or a situation with another person. It will come to light, don't rush it, because I'm also feeling that you need to just understand that it may not make sense, but there's a reason, and you will find the reason in the future, just not today. So I don't know if that made you feel better, if that does resonate with you, because it is something though. So if you think you're like, am I crazy? You're not. Okay, now we're moving on to Scorpio. What do we have going on for you, Scorpio? Okay, for you, Scorpio, right away when I put down the cards, some of you, I feel, have had added responsibility in your job. Some of you maybe have been promoted, or something has happened where you have to take on more responsibility. And you're happy about it in a way because it's what you wanted, but you're trying to figure out how to move forward. I feel like it could even be in a group, so maybe that's why maybe you got promoted and now you're a manager of a team or something like that, or responsibility for another, whatever it is. And again, everybody's job is so different. There's so many jobs out there, so I'm trying to be as general as possible, but let's see if I can do this. It's other people are involved because it's you relating to other people. So you've had more money, because I feel more money is coming to you, and that's why I'm feeling possibly a job or new money coming to you. So it could be that you have taken on a new job versus a promotion. Some of you, that could be the case. And it's something that you have a lot of responsibility for. And there are other people, because I'm feeling there are other people involved in this responsibility. So you are responsible for more than yourself. Yeah, there's people that are depending on you to guide them, to lead them, to be their eyes and ears. And I don't feel like you're struggling with this responsibility. I think it was earlier, and I feel like it was Cancer. So you can look back, but that the responsibility was too much. You know, it was just stressing out, because that was a strong reading for me. This is different. This is good responsibility. You're happy because it's where you want to be, but you're trying to figure out how to relate to these people. It's something all about relating to the people. And the message here is figure out a way to be engaging with these people so that they hear you, versus, you know, if you are taking a responsibility where you are a boss or supervisor, whatever the case may be, you may want to just get to work and lay out the rules and just start whatever you want to do for your agenda, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. But the message here is saying there are other people to help you in getting things done, but in order to be successful, you have to get them to resonate with you and like you. I know that sounds crazy, because you're like, I'm the boss. I don't really care if people like me or not. This is the career I want. But you have to use different skills than what it is that you've come to this position for. That's what I'm feeling. There are skills that you have to use that aren't what the job requires, meaning those soft skills, those skills about listening to people, and maybe have a meeting and ask people their opinions, how it was going before you joined, or whatever that is. Get their feedback, because you want them, number one, to trust you, to like you, to want to work hard for you. And then you will have all the help that you need, and the job responsibility won't feel all on your shoulders. Because I feel like in this particular case, if you don't get people on board with you, you're going to have to do the heavy lifting. But if you get everybody on board with you, and say there are 5 people, each person is taking a little bit of it, and it's not going to feel so burdensome. Though it's not a burdensome thing where you don't want to do it because you're really excited about this. I feel like it's a good opportunity for you, but there is something that you have to understand, that there's the hard skills of your work, or the job, whatever that entails, but then there are the soft skills. You know, listening to people, talking to people, getting to know people, maybe outside of the job, you know, what they like to do, you know, really relating to people. And I find that if you are in this team situation, again, this is a general reading, so it is not going to apply to everyone, but for those of you that it does apply to, if you are in this type of situation, it's all about relating. It's all about understanding. So if you did get a promotion in your current job, and people are looking at you like, who is this person coming in? And they may be resistant to help you out. Get to know them. Use your soft skills. That's what I'm feeling for you this week, dear Scorpio. Okay, now we're moving on to Sagittarius. What do we have going on for you, Sagittarius? Okay, Sagittarius. There's something dark about this week for you. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I say dark because I feel like there's something that has happened. I feel like it could be in work with the supervisor. Something was said that maybe came out of the blue, you didn't expect it, and you have to take it all in. Maybe there was something you thought was happening and it isn't happening. Or you thought you were doing a good job, but maybe you weren't doing a good job. And you have to kind of sit with that. And that's what I mean about being dark, meaning within, I guess, is how I want to say dark, is within yourself. There is time now for you to go off. Maybe a supervisor has just said something to you, Sagittarius, that was like, what? I thought I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. Or maybe you knew that you weren't doing as best you could be doing and didn't think anybody would notice. It's just been going on. There's some situation that's been going on that has been called to light. I feel like it's in work. I feel like someone has kind of come down on you a bit in work. It could be a boss coming down on you, calling you out on something, because that's how I'm feeling. And the feeling I'm getting from you is, whoa, what just happened here? I didn't expect that. That came out of left field. So now you have to go think about it. You have to really go within yourself and realize why this situation happened and how you played a part in that. That's what I'm feeling. It's something about you playing a part in whatever just happened in work. And I feel this very strongly in your workplace. And it's almost like it came out of left field, because I keep feeling that left field in your perspective. To the other person, your boss, it is a supervisor, it is someone I feel like very work related. To them, it hasn't been out of left field. They've been watching. I feel like you've been being watched, and there's something that's not satisfactory with your boss, your supervisor, whoever is your person in work. Again, if you're not in work or that doesn't apply to you, it is somebody who is in authority to you, a parental figure. Maybe you got punished for something that you may actually be the parent. You may be the parental figure that is scolding your child because you need to show them what is happening. And now they have to have time out. It's that type of thing. So whether you are the parent or you may be the supervisor, Sagittarius, you may be the person that says, I'm not doing this. This is what you need to do. And the other person is like, really? What? I had no idea. Maybe you've had to make some hard decisions and let somebody go. To me, it can go either way, whether you are the supervisor or it is your supervisor. But the whole thing, whether you are the supervisor or not, or the parental figure or somebody in authority, you may work for the government, you are the authority, and you may have had to let some rules go that, people weren't expecting. but you've had to lay some rules down that, nope, this isn't going to happen anymore. And people are like, what? Where is this coming from? That's the energy I'm feeling. So however it applies in your life, the message here is that it's up to you whether you are the one who just laid down the law or you are the one that someone laid the law down to. You have to go within and try to really figure out what that means for you. If you have been reprimanded at your work or something happened at your work, you have to figure out what did you do and why didn't you see it? Like you thought you knew something or you thought you were doing a great job, but there was something missing. And why did that happen? And were there clues that you missed? Or were you just not being aware, or you just didn't know? You don't know what you don't know. Or maybe you're in over your head. If you are the supervisor, you still have to go within and figure out how you're going to rectify this situation. Do you have to put this person on a plan? Do you have to have them structure their job differently so that they can succeed? Because something isn't working right. That's the overall general message, is something is not working right between an authority figure and the person who they report to. Okay, now we're moving on to Capricorn. What do we have going on for you, Capricorn, this week? Okay, Capricorn, this week I feel like there's going to be good communication, or communication that is needed between you and someone that you love. Again, when I say someone you love, this can be a partner, this could be a child, this could be a close friend, somebody that you really care about. This could be family, but I feel like it's one person. So it could be somebody in your family, somebody that's close to you as a friend, your partner, your lover, whoever that is for you that's close to you, emotionally close to you. There's something going on as far as communication between the two of you. It's like maybe somebody needs money or something, because I'm feeling that there's like a hard communication going on about there's financial implications here. So maybe somebody needs your help, or you need to have a conversation with somebody about how they're spending their money. And you're the one doing it. I feel like you're the one that has to have this hard conversation with the person that you love about maybe how they're spending their money, with whatever their finances are, whether you have to acknowledge that and say, do you need a loan from me? What is the situation here? Because I feel like it's all about money, or maybe making the person aware that there's just not enough money. Because I don't feel like it's too much money. It's not enough money. It's something that is limiting in regards to finances for you. But you have to be the one to figure out the solution with the other person. So I feel like you're going to have to address it to the other person to make them aware and help them come up with a plan. And if it's your partner, you're going to have to do it together. Maybe bills have been getting behind or whatever is happening, and you have to come up together to say, okay, how are we going to make this work? So it's time. And I feel like it's you that's going to initiate this conversation with someone about this financial situation. And I feel like it's their situation, this other person's situation. I feel like you're the one who has to address it, but to help them out. Because I feel like you're the helper here. You're the one that is going to help them understand what needs to be done in regards to finances. So again, anyone that is close to you, and you'll have the solution for them. I feel you very cut and dry with them. Like you're really looking at it black and white. Like this is what's happening. We have to handle it in a certain way. If it's you and a partner, that we can move forward in a better financial place. If it is someone coming to you for your help, whether it's your child or a family member or a close friend, you're going to sit down with them and help them figure out their finances. So it's very specific in regards to the message I'm getting. So again, this may not apply to everyone, but generally I'm feeling that you're the one helping to communicate to somebody close to you about your finance, about their finances, and how you can help them make it better, make their finances better or more secure. Okay, now we're moving on to Aquarius. What do we have going on for you, Aquarius? Okay, Aquarius, I feel like for some of you, when I first laid down the cards here, I feel like there's a reunion with somebody from your past. Childhood friend, family, maybe that you haven't seen in a long time, because I'm feeling reunion here. You may be even getting together or arranging a reunion, because I feel like you are responsible for making this connection with somebody that you haven't seen in a while. It could be multiple people. It is tied to your past. So maybe you are looking up an old friend or reaching out to an old friend. Maybe there is an actual reunion you're planning. It's something about reuniting with someone from your past, but you initiating this reunion, you initiating the conversation. Now, this just came to me right as I was speaking. There may be someone from your past that you need to apologize to, work something out, but it's up to you. Maybe there's something you realize now that you should have said, I'm sorry, I take responsibility for what has happened in the past. There is something about you initiating that. So I don't know how that would happen for you, but it's something that you have to deal with that happened in your past. Maybe it's a family member, and maybe you have lost touch with the family member, or maybe the relationship has just broken down over the years, and now you're realizing that life is too short and I really don't want to continue as we're going because it's just not fruitful for either one of us. And that's when you pick up the phone, or you write an email, or you send a text, or something to initiate the conversation with the person. But I feel like here you're taking the responsibility, you're taking on the onus of reaching out to this person to acknowledge something about the past and to connect with them again. So again, this can happen, and I gave you a few examples of it, but it's all about you really realizing the person that you had with you in the past. You let the relationship just disappear. Everybody has their life, right? So in this case, the relationship just fell away, possibly, and you want to bring it back because you're remembering the fond memories. I feel like for some of you, that might happen, that you're going to want to reach out to the person, is maybe you're looking through old photos, or you're thinking about old times and you're saying, whatever happened to that person? You know, we lost touch and I'm not sure why, so let me see if I can find them. Let me see if I can reach out to them and just say hello and let them know that you're thinking of them. It can be something as simple as that, or it can be something major where you're trying to repair a relationship from your past. So it's all about relationships with you this week, dear Aquarius, but it's tied to your past and you initiating some kind of reunion or truce. Okay, now we're moving on to Pisces. What do we have going on for you, Pisces, this week? Okay, Pisces, right away, I'm feeling like there could be breakup this week for you in regards to a relationship that maybe isn't working out so well. There's something happening where somebody is hurt and you're going to hear about it. You may not actually break up. I just had to say that right away because initially I felt breakup, but again, this is a general reading. So not everyone's going to break up when someone gets hurt, but you're going to hear about it. So the general thing is somebody is hurt in your life. Feel like it's a relationship. It's someone connected to you closely. So when I say relationship, it could be a partner. It could be someone in your family. It could be it's somebody close to you, a close friend. So think about how this applies in your life, but it's somebody you're connected to emotionally with. They're hurt and you're going to hear about it. And something has to change. And I feel like they're telling you you're going to hear about it from them. So you're not the one that's hurt, but you have hurt someone. I don't feel like you've hurt them on purpose, I feel like it's one of those things where you have to work it out, where there may be a situation and you didn't even realize that whatever you said was going to hurt their feelings, but you were just being yourself, saying whatever it was, and you weren't taking in account of their feelings in that moment. And they were like, what? What did you just do? But they're not going to sit back and just let it happen and just not say anything. It's important to them. Whatever this is important to them, and they need you to know it. They need you to know that that hurt me. And so I feel like there's going to be change around how things are going to have to move forward for both of you, that there's balance between the both of you, that it's fair in your life. The relationship cannot move forward if this doesn't get addressed. And I feel like it's someone going to address it to you, and they're going to say, that wasn't cool, or that hurt me, or I didn't appreciate that. Those are the type of things that you're going to hear from someone close to you. Now again, it doesn't have to be a love relationship, but it's somebody close to you, family, friend, but it's a one person. And it may just be a small situation where you're with a group of people and you say something and they're not going to let you get away with it. They're going to confront you about it and they may say it in front of the group, or they may say it to you on the side, but you're going to hear that that wasn't a good thing to do. And so it's like a little bit of licking the wounds about what you just did, and it's okay. I mean, we're all human, and sometimes you get caught up in the moment and you're not thinking of everybody's feelings in the moment, but it is something that you will have to pay attention in regards to this particular person. So this particular person is sensitive in a certain area, and so you have to understand that and know that you have to be conscientious when you're talking about a certain thing or doing something around whatever it has hurt them in the future with them. Now, when I first put down the cards, I thought, oh, someone's going to break up here. That may be the case. You're going to hear about it. They're just not happy, and there is no hope, and it's just, you know what, forget it. This isn't working. But for the majority of you, this is something that you're just going to have to work out between each other. And you will. You just have to know that you can change your behavior and be more considerate, or think of their feelings, because it's all about thinking of their feelings in regards to something, so that you don't upset them and you don't hurt them. And we all have to do that in relationships with another person. So that's what I see for you, dear Pisces. All right, everyone, another great week. I hope you enjoy this week. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.